The extremist, dangerous, theocratic regime in Tehran will soon fall, with the pressure only increasing for mass protests inside Iran and in Europe and elsewhere, going on for more than a month now to protest the clerics' crackdowns. Now there's new concern about the Iranian rock climber Ilnaz Rakabi, who reports say has been put under house arrest after she competed in that rock climbing competition in South Korea. You can see she's not wearing a hijab over her hair, and she was hailed as a hero when she arrived home. Now, the latest symbol of the people's resistance to the terroristic regime. Lisa Daftari is here, editor of the Foreign Desk. Lisa, I mean, the regime murders protesters in cold blood, shoots these young people in the head in the streets, and now she apparently is under house arrest. What does this mean?
They're just trying to make symbols of these victims of the regime. Here you have a 33-year-old athlete, someone who has dedicated her entire life to competing for her country under her flag. And she took her platform, she took the opportunity while she's competing in South Korea at an international championship, and she took off her hijab. That's what every Iranian is doing. All those young people you see on the street, Eric, they are using whatever platform they have. They are risking their lives to tell the world enough is enough. You can tell by the chants on the street, death to the dictator. You can tell by when they are using their the apps to come out and tell us their stories by sending us videos and sending us footage. They want to tell the world, please stand by us. This is a movement for freedom. And I know a lot of people are calling this a feminist movement. This is just one message that the Iranian people, both inside and outside Iran, have. Historically, we've never seen this in 43 years, although we have had many protests. The people inside Iran have never been this united in one message, and that's to tell the world we want regime change and we want basic freedoms.
We just were looking at this mass protest yesterday in Berlin. Tens of thousands of people out on the streets in Berlin. What can world leaders, what should the Biden administration, President Biden and others do to put more pressure? Can this finally undermine this terroristic regime in Tehran?
Right, and it won't happen without international support. And it doesn't have to be so much involvement, but at the same time, when Robert Malley, who is the Iran envoy, the man who was entrusted with getting back into the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, comes out and at the beginning of this protest says, we're not going to follow a strategy of regime change for Iran. Well, the Iranian people had a message. And all throughout social media, Iranians came out to say, we don't need your support. But at the same time, the Iranian people are saying, don't stand in our way. If you are not going to support regime change, we're going to get regime change on our own. We're going to get our country back on our own. But there's no reason from one end to not support regime change, but on the other end to give billions of dollars to this terroristic regime that we know, and the administrators have admitted that money will go right back into terrorism, global terrorism. So they want support. They want the United States to back away from bad policies like the JCPOA. They want them to enforce proper sanctions that will put pressure on this regime, and the Iranian people will do the rest.
And finally, how far do you think this will go? Will we see an end to that regime?
Well, Eric, if there has ever been a good chance for the Iranian people to finally get their country back, this looks like this is it. With all the crackdowns, with the murders of a 16-year-old girl because she wouldn't sing the regime anthem, she was killed at her school, with all of the symbolism that they are creating, with all of the crackdowns, the people are still being so brave and courageous. And again, we have never seen this kind of support, both inside and outside Iran.
May the courage continue and only grow against that regime. Lisa Daftari, Lisa of the Foreign Desk, always good to see you. Thank you for speaking out.
Thank you so much.